You are listening to a Cult Talk Network podcast.
Welcome, everyone, to Cult of Campbell. I'm Ty.
I'm Eric.
And I'm Michael.
And it is a long-awaited review. We promised this way back in May.
You all overpromised. That's
that
what
we
happened.
did. Yeah, we promised we was going to do this like the weekend it came out.
Oh,
and we never did. We didn't do it.
Sucks to suck sometimes.
Suck. Yeah. Yeah, we really let the Campbellites down on that one. We're making it up because what better time to do Evil Dead Rise than Halloween Eve?
Ooh, yeah.
Everyone's settling in and preparing for all the All Hallows festivities. You can listen to us talk about the latest in the Evil Dead franchise, Evil Dead Rise.
Yeah.
Funnily enough, us three being on this fitting, we got to see a sneak preview of this trailer all the way back in about a year ago, last November. Can you believe it's been that long?
I thought it was December.
December. I guess it would have been December. It was like in December and November.
It's Bruce Fest. You know, a lot of the fans on here know Bruce Fest at this point.
Yeah, we got to see it back then. So it's been that long ago. It's hard to believe. It's been
Bruce played it twice for us. What a cool guy.
He did. He did. It was really cool to get to see that. We reviewed the trailer here on the podcast, and we now we'll review the movie finally. It's long awaited. This movie right here, of course, has Bruce's hands all over it. Even though we're not seeing Bruce front and center, he is a producer on this film, or an executive producer. Producing credits go to our good friend Rob Rip Tappert, who we're all too familiar with, based on characters by Sam Raimi. And this is not. I know there was we was trying to figure this out when it came out. Is this a sequel to 2013 Evil Dead? That was like a big conversation we had. A lot of debate as if it's a sequel. What do you think, Eric? Before we go into things, I'll give him too much. Do you think this is a sequel?
Okay, so I looked up. I found a quote from Bruce in an interview.
Let's hear that shit.
I don't know if it necessarily clears it up or not, but it makes enough sense to me. Should I read this off? It's a little long.
Go for it.
Just go.
All right.
Fill there.
Here we go. All right. So in some interview talking about this, Bruce said, "The only thing that connects everything now is the book," meaning the Necronomicon. "There are 3 of these books out there, as we found out in Army of Darkness. So you never know where they're going to pop up. So this story is really, where's the book now? The book is in this particular place in Los Angeles, and a set of circumstances kind of release it into the world again, and it lands upon this one particular family, yada, yada, yada." So he's saying, and I don't know if this is his headcanon or if this is more of his official stance on it. He's saying there were 3 books in the Army of Darkness. And so that was his way of kind of making everything, even like Ash versus Evil Dead, all connect. So hearing that, to me, that says, okay, this isn't a sequel, but it exists in the same universe.
Yeah, it's the same universe because it wasn't even the same book in this one. You can tell it's like a different design and everything.
It's even called something different. We'll get to that later too.
The 2016 one had the original book though, right?
2013.
Oh, 13?
Yeah.
Jeez.
2013, it had a book. It wasn't the same book. It didn't have a face.
Oh, okay.
Right.
It didn't have a face. It was skin. No. I think they probably got rid of the face just because of it could probably come kind of silly nowadays, I imagine, like a face in the book, but I don't know.
Yeah.
Maybe that's why they did it. I don't know. Ash vs. Evil Dead also did a really good job of incorporating the face, though. But it's a lot more silly than what these movies seem to be going for. They're kind of taking it back to the original 1981 roots with these recent movies.
Yeah.
Apparently Ash vs. Evil Dead, one of the more illegally downloaded shows at the time, number 1.
Well, no kidding.
That's what Bruce said. He was like, it's number 1 illegally downloaded show. And he's like, it'd still be on the air if you fuckers would have watched it legally.
I think it was. I think the reason was it was on Showtime, and no one has Showtime. It's not like one of the popular premium channels. I don't know. I think that's the reason why. I didn't have Showtime at the time when it came out. I had to wait for it to come out on DVD every other season, so I never got to watch it live.
Right. All is streaming now. Yeah.
Yeah, it's all on, I think, HBO, I think. Maybe I could be wrong. It was on Netflix, but I think it may be on HBO Max now. HBO Max is all the Evil Deads, so I don't know if that includes Ash vs. Evil Dead or not.
So what else you got about this?
Some weird stuff.
What else you got about this film, Tyler, besides Rip Tappert?
This was written and directed by a man by the name of Lee Cronin, who is an Irish filmmaker. Not a lot to talk about here with him, which this is the kind of similar thing with the guy that did Evil Dead 2013, where it's like a relatively unknown guy, like they've kind of given to. From what I understand, this guy basically came to them. Like Lee Cronin came to Sam Raimi and them with this idea. Like he pitched it to him. They didn't come to him. He came to them, was like, "Hey, I want to do another Evil Dead movie. Here's my idea," and they loved it. They were like, "Fantastic!
Wow,
let's do it." Yeah, so he took the initiative.
Well, good for him.
Looks like he's done a lot of short films over in Ireland, and his only other feature film is called The Hole in the Ground, which came out in 2019. It is a supernatural film.
Ooh.
It follows a young woman who begins to suspect her son's disturbing behavior is linked to a mysterious sinkhole. So maybe a possession movie kind of thing.
Sinkhole, like Winter Park. Winter Park, Florida got sucked up by sinkholes back in the day.
That was an A24 flick. So,
okay.
Don't you like A24?
Me?
Yeah.
Who, me? Or?
I'm indifferent to them. Depends.
Me?
Oh, I mean, do you like America? I don't know anything.
I like what they represent.
A24?
I like what they're. Yeah, I don't think I've really
it's
seen
neat. Yeah, I'm indifferent toward them. Some movies are good, others are just like too drab and slow for me.
Yeah.
They like that slow burn horror. Yeah.
They do have a lot of slow paced movies. You're
that's
right.
That's like their motif is like this the what they call it. They call it in a Scream 5. They call it elevated horror.
Oh, elevated horror.
Elevated horror is what it's called.
The movie is boring.
Yeah, where it's like this is a horror movie for the thinking man, for the film connoisseur. You can enjoy this horror picture.
Maybe
that
it's just
is
because
what they do.
Maybe it's because it's cheaper to make.
Oh
yeah, they put a lot of production into it. I know that. Like even Evan really likes some of their movies.
Because he's a thinking man.
Yeah. Suspiria is a really good flick that they did. I don't know if they might not have done. I don't know. I might spoke out term. Might just have been in a movie in their vein, but no, they spend a lot of money. They're usually like period pieces. They're usually set in like some like post-war European village where it rains all the time. Oh yeah, and everything is gray.
Yeah.
That's usually like that. Well, it's always European. It's always some European cottage village, and everything is sad and gray.
Gotcha. So, what was the budget for this film?
The budget for this movie was. Anyone want to take a guess? We'll Wikipedia. Okay. I'll pull the veil down. It was budget estimated between 15 and 19 million.
Ooh.
I would assume it's probably 15 million and an additional 3 million for advertising, maybe.
Right. Yeah.
So pretty sizable. I mean, it's by today's standards, a micro budget film by today's standards.
Yeah. That's
yeah.
Right.
Yeah, I've been going over that kind of stuff with Eric lately, just like estimated pricing on films and.
Oh, it's wild. Well, it's wild because that one movie that came out very recently that everyone was like going nuts over. Everyone was like all the reviews were like, it's amazing for what a low budget movie can do. This is like proof what low budget movies can do. And the budget was $100 million. I was like, what the fuck is this? A low budget movie? But it's because now. Like the standard budget for like a sci-fi action thriller is like $400 million. So it was it cost a quarter of what was being put out. So that's why people kept calling it a low budget film, because in comparison to it is a low budget film.
Everything else, yeah. Or they're just slathering it with like hours and hours of CGI.
Right. And film budgets are weird because people always see like, man, if I had $100 million, $15 million. I mean, $15 million, I could do all kinds of shit. But you're thinking of catering, crew, electricity, rentals, props, locations, advertising.
I know
lawyers,
Ben had a fit the other day. Yeah, Ben had a fit the other day when I was going through like a mock budget, and Ben was like, "That much on catering, on craft services."
Yeah, it's like, oh yeah.
You gotta think. You have if you're shooting like if you're shooting a guy and girl in a house movie, sure, you gotta pay the actors, you gotta pay the crew. You're probably looking at 15, 20, 25 people maybe. But if you're shooting like a major film where it's like we're in a castle, you got to feed all those extras. You got to feed all the crew. You got to feed the makeup people, the set designers, lighting people. It's insane. Catering is a big thing. Sure, a lot of these movies are under like a union, so you can't be like, hey, it's a pack your lunch day.
Right. Yeah.
Hey guys, Wednesday's pack your lunch day.
There's a berry bush over there if you want to try that out.
Yeah. Honestly, I remember there was a really good show on Freevee. I think it's on Prime now, but it's called the Jury.
Mhm.
Have you seen that?
No.
Anyone heard about it? So it's a show. It's a kind of like a reality show where basically it's this mock trial. Everyone is actors. So the jury's actors, the judge, the lawyers, the plaintiffs, the defendants, all that, the bailiff, everyone's actors except for one guy. One guy is not in on it. So
Oh my God.
we watched it's a fantastic show. It's hilarious. It's on Prime. It's free. 10 episodes. It's one of the best shows to come out in a long time. But it's funny because like they talked about like one of the biggest challenges was like they had to you have lunch when you're in jury duty. You have lunch.
Yeah.
Well, the time that lunch was for the jury wasn't the time that union mandates for their lunches to be. So they had to find ways to feed these actors outside of the actor knowing. So these actors had to eat like 2 lunches basically. Because they had to also eat lunch with him.
Right, to keep up
because they're with him 24/7. Because they're a jury, so they had to find all these logistics of like how do we feed these people? Like because they're all union. It's like you can't be like no, we're gonna hold off till 12:30 or whatever because that's not how unions work. Unions are pretty strict. So
I know. At the time of recording, like unions are a big thing right now with all that. And everyone's saying, like the big CEOs and everything, like they're sucking up all the money. And sure, that's true, but that's always been true. And you mooks didn't have problems throwing your money at them before, but whatever. But like unions kind of drive prices up.
Yeah, I mean unions. It's just as it is. But unions do have they're there for a reason. But people can't take advantage of it. So
yeah, they do. They are there for a reason. But yeah, I'm not saying costs going up. Good thing, bad thing. It depends on who's exchanging the money. They came about for a reason. That is for sure.
Right.
So
I'm sure they had a pretty decent union on Evil Dead Rise.
Yeah.
What was the box office for that?
Box office. So we had a budget of 19 million. I'm assuming $15 million budget, extra $3 million for marketing or whatever. The box office was $146.7 million, making it the highest grossing Evil Dead film of all time.
Boom.
How good did all the other ones do, I guess? I want to know, like, what even came close?
I think Evil Dead 2013 was like the highest rated because I think it pretty much went up like that. It's like 1, 2, 3, so on.
Just as it exponentially grown.
Up with each movie. Yeah.
I'm sure it'd be. I'd like to see what happened if they put like Evil Dead 2 back in theaters. I bet that'd be kind of cool. Do a nostalgia run on that.
I bet up here in Columbus, the Draft House, they'd probably do like a Evil Dead marathon if you talked them into it.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Do that.
Cult of Campbell presents.
There we go. Yeah.
You know what? We fucking might.
Hey, you never. When that happens, I say no, thank you.
I've heard other type of film getting screened there, so I'm sure we could get that to happen.
I'm sure. We've co-starred with Bruce Campbell himself, so we have that.
Yeah, we have something. Yeah, we have pictures. Like, listen, we were on the stage with this dude. We actually have with his agent. We might be able to get him to come down. We're not saying for sure.
No,
but we could. But
I am told that I was on stage with him with Ty. So
as far as Eric's concerned, he's like, there's
seen pictures of.
There's pictures of it. I kind of remember a little bit of.
Our actors are cast here. Now, no one from the original franchise. Technically, we do have. In this movie, we have so the most prominent one is Lily Sullivan. Or no, the most prominent one is Alyssa Sutherland. She is the highest billed one, I guess. She is most notable from the History Channel television series Vikings.
Oh,
where she plays Queen Aslog.
Nice, cool.
So that's what she's done. She's also been in a movie called Blood Vessel, which I've seen before. It's a vampire on a Nazi ship movie. It's all right. That's all I can say. It's sorry.
Right on.
So it's a decent movie. She's been in a couple episodes of Law and Order, as you do. 2 episodes as different characters. She was in 2011 and then she was in 2019. Now, also joining her as Beth, we have Lily Jane Sullivan. She was in a film called Monolith, which is an Australian flick, which you'll find most people in this movie are Australian because, as with a lot of Sam Raimi's productions,
Yeah,
It's filmed in Australia.
Huh?
Is it just cheaper there or something? Or I don't.
It's got to be. You know, it's.
It
Or
has
does he
to.
go there because there is no union, as we were just talking about?
Oh,
Who
maybe that's true because he couldn't get away with a lot of the shit that he does with his films.
He might go there just to avoid the union. Really?
Yeah. All right, if we're gonna do an Evil Dead movie, we can't have a union. Get out of here. These guys in the cabin for months without showers. Like,
They filmed Ash vs. Evil Dead. That whole series was filmed there.
wow.
Evil Dead 2013 was filmed there, I'm pretty sure. Even Bruce Campbell stuff. Jack of all trades filmed in Australia.
Oh, no
So
kidding.
there's
Okay.
Australia has that was why he had that really shitty horse in Jack of all trades.
Oh,
Because of-
that's right.
Because of Lord of the Rings. Yeah, it's filmed at the same
Lord of the
time.
Rings is fucking awful.
They
took all the horses.
in Australia, New Zealand.
Every horse.
Hey, ride now, ride for ruin. We got that moment because of those horses. Can't see, but
No one even knows what film you're talking about, Eric. No one even heard of it.
don't even say that. They know. You guys know. Leave a comment if you know.
In
I'm
addition
looking
to
at
that,
this. I'm looking at the cinematographer Dave Garbett.
Okay.
Garbett.
Did he do both remakes?
No,
That's-
it looks like he did just Evil Dead Rise.
Okay.
He did a couple of shorts, and he did 4 episodes of the TV series Sweet Tooth.
Never heard of it.
Never heard of that.
It's
Oh, wait, that's on
interesting.
Netflix. That's the boy with the antlers, right?
Yeah, the kid with the antlers. It's a little whatever. He
It's like a
did
fairy tale
He
type
did
thing.
14 episodes of Ash versus Evil Dead.
Oh, okay. So he's in with the group. He's in with the gang.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
And just a bunch of other stuff I really don't know. Oh, he did 6 episodes of Spartacus. Ben likes that show.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
That makes sense. I could see that with some of these shots. Very
So those are more notable. I mean, he has a long list here, but those are the notable ones that I'm
Okay.
aware of. So he's been around.
he's done some shit. All right.
Now, as we said, no one from the original movie in the movie.
right.
However, if
Ooh.
you listen closely,
Bruce.
you in a later part of the film when our characters are listening to these recordings, they have these recordings, these phonograph recordings that they're playing,
Uh-huh.
and they're supposedly from 1923. Bruce Campbell makes a cameo as an unnamed character who is warning the priests of the dangers of a demonic resurrection. You know, the demonic resurrection is bad. Now, according to our director Lee Cronin, he says that he considers this not only be Bruce it's Bruce Campbell, obviously, but
Right.
he considers this not just be just a random Bruce Campbell voice cameo. This is actually Ash Williams displaced in time, trying to rid the world of the book, and trying to warn people of the evil. So the director is basically confirming that
Nice.
Ash Williams is in this movie.
Okay.
He wrote and directed it. So I mean, if
Right.
anyone's going to say
For
Yeah.
canon. Yeah,
For
this is
canon.
Ash.
Gonna be the writer director. Yeah.
Yeah, he's like the one screaming, destroy the book and
Destroy
and
the
like
book, yep.
recording.
Okay. I did not. I knew to listen for. Well, it might have been too late in the movie by the time Bailey mentioned it to me, but
It's
I didn't
okay.
catch it. Yeah.
so. That's Bruce as Ash Williams. So this is Ash Williams' return to the Evil Dead franchise.
There's more evidence
Confirmed.
in that scene. Yeah. It's in
Here,
that
I
get-
scene.
dare you to argue with a director
Yeah.
and writer.
Yeah, give me a slam sound effect there, Mike. Confirmed. The ad in post.
We'll see what we might do in post.
Confirmed. Boomstick sound. There you go. Confirmed.
Boom.
Boom stick.
There you go.
We'll just use that. I mean,
Yeah,
they're good right
just
there.
as good. Just as good. Yeah, just good.
You got anything else there, Ty, that you want to bring up?
I guess we could. So this has a really weird production, a really weird pre-production, I would say. So we all know Evil Dead 2013, amazing film. Fede Alvarez did an awesome job on that. Somehow has not lived up to the hype after this movie. He's done. He did that Texas Chainsaw movie for Netflix.
Oh.
When Ben told me that, I was blown away. I was like, no fucking way. That guy that did Evil Dead 2013, one of the best horror reimaginings, did easily one of the worst horror reimaginings I've ever seen. So could not believe it. I was like,
I mean,
what?
it was a different team. Don't blame him.
Yeah. He probably had. Well, I imagine too. It's like Sam Raimi has his hands so deep in this movie where it's like,
Oh yeah.
you know,
didn't let
I'm
him fuck
sure.
up.
Yeah, I'm sure. You can't. If he doesn't want you to do something, he's not going. You're not going to do it. it's his baby. I know Ben will also love this. He's also that Fede Alvarez is all his next movie is the next Alien movie. So
I'm not going to be the one to tell him.
he can listen to this episode when he finds out.
Yeah. Sorry, Ben.
God, you'll ruin his Halloween.
Yeah, I think that actually comes out on Halloween. That's coming in to Hulu.
Tomorrow?
Tomorrow.
Yeah, tomorrow maybe. I don't know.
As the recording releases.
Yeah, I have no idea when it comes out. I have no idea when it comes out.
Well,
it might already be out. He might have already blew up about it by now, and maybe this might just reopen the wound.
Ben might already have off himself or something. Yeah. He's like, nope, don't want to live in this world anymore.
But immediately after 2013 came out, Evil Dead 2013, obviously we reviewed it here on Cult of Campbell. We all loved it. It's an amazing movie. Truly one of the gems in the Evil Dead franchise. He announced that they want to do a follow-up to it. They want to do an Evil Dead 2, or Sam Raimi called it Evil Dead 4. That's what it would have been.
Oh, okay.
Which would have been a sequel to Army of Darkness. It would have had Bruce Campbell. It would have rumored to have had the heroine from the Evil Dead 2013 movie. Basically this big thing, and it would later be the name would even be changed to Army of Darkness 2.
Okay.
And that would merge the narratives, basically. It would merge these timelines.
Man, this supercut for Bruce is getting messier and messier as we keep going.
I know, right?
Talks about that supercut you could do the first 3 films. It's just cut it here, start the next one here, merge them together, and that's the film.
I think Dark Horse. I'm thinking Dark Horse, or maybe Boom Studios. One of the big comic book publishers is actually doing Army of Darkness 2, a comic series, which I'm really interested in. I think that would be great to see. Apparently, they're using unused scripts and stuff, so that would be really cool to see.
Yeah,
to
read.
Have to
use unused scripts right now with the strikes going on.
Yeah, no kidding.
Yep,
unused scripts.
But these were, but Army of Darkness 2 ultimately never came to be. Instead, it became what Ash versus Evil Dead is. Army of Darkness 2 became Ash versus Evil Dead.
Right.
And then Fede Alvarez just kind of drifted away, and Sam Raimi was like, and there's no Evil Dead 2 coming out. And then we got Evil Dead Rise.
Yeah.
So there we go. That's all I've got there. Now, Rick, I guess this a fun tidbit too to throw in there. Originally, this was going to be an HBO Max exclusive. It was going to go right to HBO Max streaming. They did a test screening of it and said the studio was like, nope, this is going to theaters so we can make some money off of it. So
where are you getting your stuff, Ty? I'm going to make sure I'm not reusing information.
Wiki.
Your own Wiki? Okay.
No, from my own brain. This is all
from your own brain. That was all from Tyler's brain of research. I'll shoot through some of the IMDb stuff because the IMDb trivia section. I'll announce my sources. I'm not afraid.
IMDb trivia section is clutch. When me and Mike did American Pie Slices, available everywhere you find your podcast, that was clutch. We found that it was insane the amount of information in that damn section.
Right, because you just read basically one that's from here, like the film was originally meant for HBO Max until the screening and whatnot. So I'll shotgun through a few of these here. We'll just get some initial reactions, and we might be able to move on to the next section of this podcast after Tyler destroys everything.
Sorry.
Rumble.
Director Lee Cronin stated in an interview that, Eric, think about this budgeting, that a little over 1,700 gallons of fake blood were used for the movie.
Ooh.
Just budgeting just blood.
1,700. Did you say 1,700?
1,720 gallons.
Fuck.
He said 6,500 liters. But we're fucking American here, so
that's right. Yeah, we do it the hard way because we do.
I always think, never mind. I'm not getting into that. Anyway, the pizza place is called Henrietta's. Who else was called Henrietta?
Ted Raimi.
That's awesome.
I didn't notice that. I didn't even notice that.
Oh, that's great. Wow.
Tell for the people that might not know, Tyler.
Henrietta is the wife of Dr. Nobi, played by Ted Raimi. In both, in every iteration except for her human form, and all her possession form, she is Ted Raimi.
Yeah, that's cool. That's a good name for a pizza place.
Then we have to get into the character of an alternate personality. Actress Alyssa Sutherland took inspiration from Jim Carrey's performance as Stanley Ipkiss in The Mask.
Oh, nice.
Oh, okay, I can see that. Although I was thinking, I guess it was more of a Joker kind of look, just because the way her face was fucked up kind of gave her that smile.
Oh yeah, I get that. I'm gonna pop in here with a little thing that I'm sure Mike will appreciate. The sound of the kid getting his eye bit out was achieved by Bruce Campbell biting into an apple.
I seen some behind the scenes of that. He's like,
yeah, he just chewed an apple.
That's great.
Yep.
Yeah, I've seen some behind the scenes of that.
They had so much fun with their sound. Like, it sounded like Raimi was pretty involved in the sound in this, even though it wasn't what I mean?
The sounds are always super fun in the Evil Dead movies. I mean, they always do like some really unique stuff. That's one of the I guess one of the lesser things that people appreciate about these movies is the sound, because there's some really great effects they use.
Yeah,
and things that just sound way different. You won't ever hear stuff like it ever.
Right,
just only in these movies. I mean, even like the chainsaw in this and Evil Dead, I think sounds like nothing like a chainsaw any other movie I've ever seen. I don't think Chainsaw Massacre has anything on it. Like maybe it's because of how in tune I am with these movies. I know the sound of Ash's chainsaw. It doesn't sound anything like Leatherface's. It doesn't sound anything like anyone from the Hostel movies. It's a unique sound.
It is. Yeah. Well, yeah, there you go. That kind of speaks to the care they took with their sound design, because it is. Yeah.
Yeah. Speaking of sounds,
okay.
The film opens with the sound of a fly. This is the same exact sound used throughout different entries, dating all the way back to the original in the franchise, and has become a tradition and to appear at least once.
Wow.
Same exact fly sounds used in all the installations of Evil Dead.
Wow.
Wow. That is pretty interesting. Yeah.
Some weird things that Sam Raimi likes to hold on to.
He does. Yeah. He does. He likes to hang on to things too. Like, I know, like Bruce talked about how he'll hang on to like bits and like, ideas for movies. Like, he'll come up with it. It might not work out for this movie, but like decades later, he'll like just have it. And, you can do this thing that I wanted to do, and he'll just have it happen. Like he just holds on these ideas. Like, I want this to happen. Might not happen here, but I'm going to get it to happen. Which I watched an interview with Bruce. You'll appreciate this, Eric. It was from Army of Darkness. He was talking about like the stuff that Sam Raimi comes up with. And he was talking about like when the Deadites attacked the castle, he wanted Ash to like run and hide, and he cowers, and he runs and hides, and then these kids find him like hiding, and he tells them like, I'm for the first time in my life, I'm afraid. I'm not made for this. And the kids convince him like, no, like you're a hero. So Ash and these kids take all these flowers and they open the gates of the castle, and they walk out. They step out to the army of the Deadites, and they present them these flowers, and everything's going good until evil Ash, is like, what the fuck's going on? And turns the Deadites evil again. And Ash runs into the castle and closes the gates and leaves the kids outside. Yes! With that amazing. And Bruce just like, he can't come back from that. You can't at the end just be like, he's the hero again. Like, that's so funny though. But that's something you wanted to happen in Army of Darkness, and it's never made it. So maybe in Evil Dead 3 we'll see.
You don't come back from that. That's for sure.
Yeah, you don't like, you can't just be like,
kids die.
Yeah, you can't just come back. He's like, he's the chosen one. He's the hero. Sorry about those kids. He wasn't a chosen one yet. He had some developing to do. He's
flawed hero.
Flawed hero. Yeah.
Oh my god, I love that.
Next one. Inside the cabin in the prologue of the film is a ticking clock on the wall. It's the exact same clock as the one Cheryl is drawing in the Evil Dead 1981.
Wow. Okay. Wow,
that is insane. These are some deep cuts. I didn't even come close to seeing these things. I'm very excited I didn't notice Henrietta's pizza.
Yeah.
Guess you'll just have to watch it again and look for more Easter eggs.
Oh, damn.
This next one I take with a grain of
awesome movie again.
Next one we'll take with a grain of salt, because these are like typically like user presented. It's literally just one sentence that says it was shot in chronological order. I don't know.
I'm calling bullshit.
I
remember reading that somewhere, but I remember reading that somewhere, but I don't think it's true. I don't know. I've seen that before about this movie.
The most I
just
say
don't
about,
know.
I guess there's not a reason they couldn't have done it in chronological order.
There is so it is.
I mean, it's all
hard
just
to
taking
do.
place mostly in this apartment complex.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they only have a few locations. It is so hard to shoot a movie in chronological order.
I mean,
Yes,
they
I
did with
guess
DT.
You get your cast out as you
As you kill them
add
off,
your
you're done
cast,
with them. I mean,
Well,
it's
they had different scenes with that. The neighbors would come in, and then there'd be scenes and scenes and scenes without them, and then they'd come back. I mean, stuff like that.
It's possible. That's all I'll say. I'm like, I guess
it's more likely than your average movie. But I
guess that would make it hard too. Like where like the actor boy, like the neighbors, like they just came in for one day, then like 2 weeks later, like, hey, we need you to come back in for 2 more scenes.
Exactly. When really you would just want to pay them for like the 1, 2, 3 days that you need them, or a week or whatever it is, all at once, because they'd have to travel back to set from wherever they were before. Maybe they did. It's possible they did. That was it was all in one pretty tight set, one enclosed little area, and low cast, but I tend to call bullshit on that.
it's sorry. If you look at Ellie's arms, they are wrapped in tattoos of vines. This is a nod to Cheryl from The Evil Dead, Bobby Joe from Evil Dead 2,
I caught that one,
and Mia from Evil Dead, who all were attacked and bound by vines.
Okay, nice. No, I did not pick up on that. That makes sense. Cool.
Brings The Evil Dead back to New Line Cinema, who distributed the original film's theatrical release in '83.
I'm so glad New Line's back. New Line is like a studio. They went away for a little bit in the mid 2000s, and I forget who brought them back. So it's basically like a subdivision of something now. I think it's used for just like horror or like small releases. But like the New Line logo, like so much memories it brings you back to just seeing that New Line logo. It reminds me a lot of Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, the movie. That's what I always think of when I see the New Line cinema thing.
Well, now they're owned by Warner Brothers.
Yeah.
Discovery.
Yep. Yeah.
So
Because they went away for a little bit, like just briefly. Then like Warner Brothers bought them back just to release stuff like this, like smaller horror kind of things. I think is what it's made for.
Nice.
Lee Cronin revealed that all the characters were named after actors that had previously appeared in the Evil Dead series.
That makes sense. That makes sense. Yeah.
Yep,
Okay. I'm looking at him now. Yep. Bridget Fonda. Yep. Bruce Campbell. Bridget Fonda's in Evil Dead Army of Darkness.
Okay. There's
man, yeah, Bruce, Beth, Danny, yep, Jake. Okay. Yeah, nice. Very cool. There's no Ted in here.
No, there isn't a Ted. Where's the Ted?
They gypped
Maybe
him.
in the next one.
They gypped him. Oh, there's even a Mr. Fonda. There's a Bridget and a Mr. Fonda. The old man's Mr. Fonda.
Nice.
Man, once again, Ted gets fucked.
Man. when will things turn around for this guy?
Yeah, it's got to be coming. His day's
With
coming.
with Lunatics 2,
Yeah,
Oh.
Loon 6-2. Let's bring it.
Cult Talknet production.
Absolutely.
Bulgaria.
Yeah.
Did you notice what was missing from this film that all the other Evil Deads had?
Chainsaw hand? Boomstick. No,
The point
boomstick's
of
in there.
view, the evil point of view.
No, I think they used
Apparently-
that in the garage.
No.
Is it? Because it says the Delta was not in here.
Oh,
What?
You gotta be
The Evil Dead film is the only Evil Dead film not to feature the 73 Oldsmobile Delta 88.
I thought for sure it was in the parking garage.
Yeah, I would
You
have.
I
probably
thought
just
for
assumed
sure
it,
it was
didn't you?
I must have. I don't
You're
believe
like, I'm sure
that.
it's in there somewhere, whatever.
I don't
You're gonna
believe
go look
that.
at. You're like,
Yeah.
let me go see here.
It's
Why
a Delta.
wouldn't it be in there?
An
I
Evil
mean,
Dead.
it's not a Sam Raimi film technically.
I guess, yeah.
right.
Not technically, it's not his. I mean, it's only in movies he's directed. I know that because it's even not in. I think there's another movie he did that it's not in.
Okay.
No, the Delta is not featured.
Wow, no kidding.
Damn, that is
Now,
crazy.
let me get at you guys about this Evil Dead POV thing. Like, it wasn't every time we saw it, it was either a drone or it was one of the Deadites. Like, it was through their point of view.
True.
It was always walking.
Yep.
They changed that. Yeah.
I do have an interesting tidbit about the Delta though.
Ooh, okay.
It's not in there. However, the collar of the chainsaw is painted the same shade as the Delta 88.
What a stretch.
They use the same shade of yellow used that the Delta 88 is painted as. They painted the chainsaw that color. So.
Awesome.
Shocking.
Yeah.
Lee Cronin shared the name of the building that the movie takes place in is the Monde, Monde. It's an anagram of demon.
Oh, that makes sense.
So they
okay.
just took demons,
The Monday.
scribbled it
Yeah,
up.
the Monday.
The Monday. Yeah, I can't remember how they pronounced it.
Yeah.
I'm not reading that one. That's too long. Chainsaw. Yep. You just mentioned that. The second Evil Dead film that doesn't have Bruce Campbell as the main character. Yeah. Duh. Because we have the 2013 and then this one.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see. Nothing really jumping out at me.
Well, I think we can go ahead. Let's
Mark Mitchinson, Mr. Fonda, also appeared in Ash vs. Evil Dead as Crosby, the leader of the militia that Ash is.
Oh, okay. That makes sense. He's an Australian guy. He's an Australian dude.
When the film's title card appears, you can see it also reflected by the lake below.
Yeah, that's amazing. Incredible. Yeah, it's not even an Easter egg. That's just fucking. It was fantastic.
I loved that shot.
You guys, let's talk about the movie. We've heard enough of these little things. We can save some for the
something
the
about
third
poltergeist.
segment.
Something about poltergeist. Go on.
They both have demon possessions.
Both Beth and Cassie fall from the elevator through the river of blood. Beth tries to wake up Cassie.
The elevator of blood. That's a clear nod to The Shining.
Of course.
First open. Yeah.
Which we got to see this movie in the. We got to see the trailer for this movie in the hotel that inspired The Shining.
Yeah.
That's a cool Easter egg you can add to that. Is the Cult of Campbell guys saw the trailer in the and add that in as a user.
Yeah, I'll go put that in. I'll go log in.
The Campbellites will appreciate that Easter
All right,
egg.
Tyler, say the thing.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, it's time. It is All Hallows Eve, and we're going to go ahead and we're going to talk about Evil Dead Rise, the latest in the Evil Dead franchise. All right, guys, you ready?
Yeah.
Let's get groovy.
Grab your boomstick and fire up the Delta. It's time for ACTION. Join the Cult of Campbell.
Groovy.
And if you're lucky a little later, I'll let you play with my
Evil Dead Rise. Mike, me and you saw this in theaters 2 days after it came out. We saw it on a Sunday matinee at the local draft house with some brewskis. Man, it's fantastic. Eric, when did you see this for the first time?
Okay, so I saw this for the first time on August 1st, way back at the time of this recording.
Wow. Hopefully we can all remember what happened in this movie.
Yeah, hopefully.
You watched this at the Frost, didn't you?
Well, I caught some of it with them. They were watching it on their own, and I was kind of in and out. But I sat down. Yeah. Today.
What were the what was the impressions from the Frost? How did it seem like they were enjoying it?
Oh, I don't want to speak for them.
You don't speak for
just your impression.
Yeah, your impression.
Your impression of them.
I don't think they were terribly thrilled with it, to be honest with you. It doesn't sound like. I think that's safe to say. They were not terribly thrilled with it.
Not terribly thrilled.
There was a bit, to do with like where the continuity is, whether or not it's a sequel or a reboot.
Yeah, it's kind of like it's kind of fallen into the continuity. I feel like continuity in general has just went into like and like not just Evil Dead.
Right.
I'm talking about just like in films in general has just gone insane. Like it's hard to play, like movies will come out and you're like, where does this place? But I think it's now fucking Marvel, for all the harm they've done and everything. It's like now you can just say it's a multiverse.
Yeah, right. You can do anything.
Hey, it's a multiverse, baby.
And they already time traveled in Evil Dead, so
Yeah, time traveling. Yeah.
Apparently, they've got 3 books.
According to Bruce. Army of Darkness. Yeah, that was introduced. Army of Darkness. Yeah. Obviously, they all look totally different. But so the highlight of this movie at the beginning, I think the title card sequence. It blows my mind.
This is getting you.
Oh, the title card sequence, like most people will like say, is phenomenal in this.
Oh yeah.
With the the letters coming up over the mountain, over the hills, reflecting out on the lake, the like music where it's like It was very Ash vs. Evil Dead-esque because Ash
Can I
vs.
hear
Evil
that?
Dead.
Can I hear that music? Okay.
Yeah, it was very Ash vs. Evil Dead did that. Like every episode, you'd have like the title sequence is always like a spectacle. You'd always like it'd be someone's head getting exploded, or someone getting a chainsaw rammed through them, then splash. Ash vs. Evil Dead. So it reminded me of that a little bit.
Yeah, no, that was a pretty epic moment. I liked that, and I like just the whole setting of it, and the woman in the foreground floating and stuff. It was pretty epic. That was pretty sweet.
Yeah, that was
like,
cool.
Oh, okay.
There's some weird stuff. It has like a fake ending, a fake beginning, which I think is the first time they've done that in an Evil Dead movie. Where it's like a swerve beginning, which is like a swerve ending. At the end. You find out at the end, it's like some weird stuff with the continuity of the movie itself. Where we find out the end. Spoiler: if you haven't seen this, why are you listening to a review of it? So no apologies. No, I'm not. I don't apologize. Don't watch a review of a movie you haven't seen. I hate that. Watch the movie. Gather your own opinions of it.
Yeah, that's right.
But you find out at the end that the beginning takes place after the events of the movie.
Well, I think there was a title card that did say one day earlier at the very beginning.
There was. Yeah, there was. You're right. They should have left it. That would have been cool if they just left it.
I think they should have just left it a mystery. Yeah, that would have been. I'll bet you're right.
Of course, the character that it's like tied to is like so nothing to the story.
I know. I was kind of like, where the fuck did she come from?
Yeah, you're just like, what the fuck happened?
And Ben and Bailey got back around the time I was finishing this, and they were like, well, she's the one from the beginning of the movie. I'm like, I know that, but where the fuck did she come from?
Why does she matter? I don't.
Yeah. It was like, so like, it was like, this is like, why are we following this character? But it would have been kind of hard, I guess, to like have anyone else in this movie be like, oh shit, that was crazy. Let's go camping.
That was wild, huh? Let's get out of here.
I have got to unwind.
I always think about that, like for people like that go through like an event like this. I'm like, how do you just live the rest of your life knowing what you know now?
Oh you're fucked. Like you're not. You're waking up the rest of your life regretting being alive. You're like, I should have died.
I should have just died there. I wouldn't have to worry about this.
I had the top of a lightweight tree fall on top of me, and now whenever a strong wind blows, I'm having anxiety attacks. I don't know how these guys are going to make it through life.
Listen, Eric, if we go down the list of things that give you an anxiety attack, we'll be here a minute.
The world is scary.
Just get in your turtle shell. It's fine.
It's fine.
There is we talk about there being 3 books now that we know for sure. So I'm assuming if we want to talk about what these books are, I'm assuming book 1 is our Evil Dead continuity, our Ash Williams continuity. That's our Evil Dead 2, our Necronomicon Ex Mortis.
Yep.
Book 2, Evil Dead 2013.
Yep.
And book 3, I'm assuming, is this book in this. Now, the book is actually called Naturum Demento, which is also a word used in the original Professor Noby recordings.
Okay.
Which translates to Book of the Dead.
So are they all 3 Book of the Dead?
Yes. Yeah.
It must be. Yeah.
Well, I mean, even if you think about Evil Dead 2, I mean, Army of Darkness, they should all look alike. That was like the bit in Army of Darkness was there was 3 identical books.
And 2, I mean, in that it was kind of like, see, here's the hole in that though, is like, weren't 2 of them supposed to be decoys?
That's what I'm thinking too. That's why I'm like, I don't know if you can really say that, because it's like you had 2 faux books and only 1 real book. Like, that was the point of that setup. Was that there's two trick ones.
Right,
because the one bit him and the other one sucked him into a fucking wormhole thing. So so I mean, there's that flaw in that. I don't really buy that explanation until there's 3 books that happen anywhere.
I know, it's kind of like there's a hole in that, and there's some holes in the like continuity, but continuity in Evil Dead has never been great.
No, that's the thing too. Like every movie, if you want to be technical about it, every movie is a totally different continuity, because there's always a different actress, or the events are always different. There's people excluded, there's people included, and it doesn't really line up.
Kind of a shtick at this point.
Yeah,
it's basically like it's kind of like it's just one big anthology.
Yeah.
I mean, if you want to be, weird about it, that's just what it is. It's just one big anthology. I mean, that's all.
Yeah,
These different stories with a book, tying them together.
It's just all centered around this book, kind of like Heavy Metal with that animated movie, and I can't remember what their MacGuffin was, but it's
like an orb thing, wasn't it? I just watched it
like
recently.
a green glowing orb thing. Yeah.
Kind of like that, yeah. You just have Ash Williams kind of stuck in the middle of it.
Yeah.
So there's that. Our characters, we have a family in this one, which was like I was kind of like, how is this going to work? It's like, are they just going to kill this whole family off? And sure enough, they killed the whole fucking family off. They kill them. I was trying to figure it out too. It's like a lot of it was, or our main villainess was spoiled in the trailers. I mean, the whole thing was built around this whole thing of like, mommy loves you and all this stuff. Like it was like, okay, the mom gets possessed.
Right. So we knew that for sure.
We knew that for sure. But they did kind of like they did in Evil Dead 2013, where it's ambiguous. And I guess if you want to be, Evil Dead 1981, pre Ash Williams being an iconic character, you really didn't know who in that movie was going to be it could have been anybody.
That's true. Yeah.
So they kind of stuck that with it, where you don't know which of these daughters, if it's going to be a daughter, if the daughter was going to be the daughter is the hero, this daughter the hero,
right?
Is it the aunt going to be the hero?
Yeah.
You kind of don't know who's what, who's going to be the hero, who's dying. So I like that aspect of it a lot. Because it kept in line with the things I really liked about 2013. Because that was the funnest thing about Evil Dead 2013, was being like, who's the Ash? Who's our Ash Williams?
Right.
And they had a bunch of the nods, like, oh, this person got their hand chopped off, or oh, there's a chainsaw there, that kind of thing. Yeah. So I like that aspect of it.
It brings back that more traditional horror movie kind of element to things.
Yeah, because it was unpredictable. I mean, I didn't know who was going to be what. What about the characters, Eric? What did you think of the characters?
Okay,
did you particularly like or dislike any of the characters?
Okay,
because I disliked one a lot.
You disliked one? Just one?
Yeah. Well, I disliked a couple. I don't know. That was this is not my favorite cast of characters we've had in Evil Dead franchise.
I'm going to agree with that. The teenagers kind of sucked. In general. Although the boy grew on me as time went on, as he was he started to have some emotion outside of like loud music.
Yeah, I did like that character. Like right before they kill off that character, I was like really rooting for that character.
I finally liked him. He
was like arching, like
an arc. Yeah,
and they just cut him short of getting his full arc.
I was not a big fan of Bridget, but I think
that's the character I really did not like.
Really? Yeah.
Did not like Bridget. Danny is the one you're talking about, that is played by Morgan Davies. They're really cool. That I thought they were like, it was like you didn't like them, but as when it finally came down to like where you thought it was just Danny and his little sister, you're like, okay, he's stepping up. He's going to be this hero. And then they kind of cut him short. I feel like Danny had a lot more to give to the movie, or maybe even could have been I think that if they done right, it could have been a really cool arc to see that character go from just being this whiny fucking I'm so fucking angsty to being like, you're not taking my fucking sister.
Yeah, right.
You took everything from me. No, I'm not. You're not taking this.
And it would have been like his fault, just like it was Ash's fault, in a couple of iterations, it would have reflected that a little bit. But I just don't know. I don't think Bridget's character was written too well. And I don't think her actor, I don't want to knock the actress too much because she doesn't have a lot.
Gabriella Eccles is her name.
Yeah. She doesn't have a lot of experience under her belt in acting. So I don't want to knock that too much, but it kind of showed in my opinion.
Yeah. Just cry, sad face.
Shock. Yeah. And then shock face.
Yeah. Shock face.
All kind of the same. Yeah.
Not a fan of her. I did not enjoy the Bridget character. Yeah. One of the cooler deaths, I guess. I did like her death where she's mutilating herself.
Yeah,
doing the whole cheek thing. Cool. That was pretty fucking brutal.
Yeah, that was.
This film has a bunch of parts that just make me cringe. Actually, I think they did good for
Did Bridget get the noodle thing on her leg? Was that who got the noodle?
Which one's Bridget?
Thing? Bridget is the short-haired girl.
Short-haired.
The teenager?
Yeah, the older sister.
Yeah. So
Yeah, she has like the cringy part where she's like eating the glass. And she swallows it. You see a poke out of her throat.
Yeah.
Ugh, I'm just like, God damn it. No.
That was awful. So that was off. That was
she
worse.
takes like the fucking, and she took that fucking, was it like a cheese grater or something? Just takes it down. Yep. That woman down her, stop it.
So they downplayed.
That was a scene they really hyped up.
Yeah, but they downplayed it in the movie. I think so. I remember the trailer. They were really pressing. There was a lot more glass being shoved through her throat in the trailer than what they ended up doing in the movie.
Yeah, I agree.
They made it just a little nick, whereas before it was, they changed that trailer between the time we saw it at Bruce Fest and when they released it.
Our hero, we come to find out, the hero of the movie. We know our villain, overarching villain is Ellie, played by Alyssa Sutherland.
Entire hallway scene where she just wiped. It's got some goofy parts.
Oh,
but, I mean, Evil Dead's very like that anyway.
It was interesting to see it shot through a door, through the peephole, where she just eviscerates the two boys and the old man.
Yeah. Well, because it starts out where she hops on the dude and just pulls his eye out, just sucks it out and throws him off, and then she spits it out to the other dude's throat and makes him choke and die.
Yep.
I'm just like,
they lost themselves away. Yeah.
I was like, that's a little goofy.
That's kind of a callback to Evil Dead 2.
That's right.
But actually kills the kid, which I think that whole Evil Dead 2, that's one of the things that bugs me most, is that she swallows the eye and nothing happens.
Right.
Always bugs me.
This one, he actually choked and died.
Yeah.
Which, what a shitty way to go.
That is a shitty way to go. And it was crazy to see a kid die in an Evil Dead movie. I was like, I was scared the whole time for Cassie, the little kid, the little girl.
She
killed her sister.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She can't, which we've seen some behind the scenes of that. I sent in the group chat where she has like going through her mouth and out the back of her head, whatever that little doll thing. I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, Stephanie.
Oh, Stephanie. Stop it. God damn it.
That was the name.
That was what they called it, Stephanie.
God damn it.
I'm glad you brought that up. I was surprised that they worked kids into it at all. That kind of really upped the stakes in a lot of ways for me.
It did, because after they killed the little boy, I was like, man, there was a couple of times where I'm like, they're going to kill that little girl.
Yeah.
Or they're at least going to have that little girl die and become like a demon, a little kid demon. Right? Those are always scary. So
yeah, and just the fact that she's sitting there watching this stuff, that it was rough watching a kid go through a horror movie like this. That was rough.
Yeah, because I mean, every like kill scene or whatever in this film is just very brutal. Because even because the girl, like, she gets that thing through the head, but I don't think she dies, right? Because she comes back and stabs her brother in the arm. That was her, right?
Yeah, she starts flying around wrapped in a blanket, and I think it's because
and she just takes the knife and just stabs it into his bicep, and just like, God, man, just everything they do, just made me hurt.
The possession sequence for Ellie was pretty brutal too in the elevator. It was a good take on, we had always the vines are iconic in the Evil Dead franchise, and it was cool to see like that, but it was the cables from the elevator.
Yeah.
That was neat. And then we also, of course, the Shining nod where the elevators open up and just gallons of blood pour free.
That was cool.
Our hero, we find as the movie goes on, is actually Ellie's sister, Beth, played by Lily Sullivan. What'd you think of our hero?
I liked her. I picked her out for Ash, like kind of towards the end, because did you notice they put her in a blue shirt? And she had the same color pants and
the
boots.
Symbolism.
Yeah. So I liked her well enough. She served the purpose well. She had a good face.
That's how I would put it. Serviceable. I think she was serviceable as the hero. Yeah. I think Danny should have been the hero. I feel like that was a missed opportunity. Danny should have been the hero. He should have been the
because you're sexist.
Screw up. Who
I don't know if you can say that with Danny. I don't think you can say that. I don't think that applies. It's a non-binary person playing a male in a movie. I don't think he can say it's sexist.
Oh, okay. Well.
An ASF. All right, wait. Yeah, AFB, assigned female at birth, playing a male character in a movie. I don't think you can call me sexist. But I think Danny should have been the hero. Danny had the potential for one of the best turns in the movie.
I think he went through the most change. Well, okay, I guess Ellie did by just necessity of plot arc, but
yeah, I mean they're all seeing their loved ones getting mutilated in front of them. So I mean they all have equal, chance to make a turn. But I think he had, to see his sister, his mother, and then potentially his the last message he had, his last sister being in peril. I think it would have been good for him to step. He could see his aunt die. I don't think the aunt needed to be there. I don't think the aunt really served a purpose. I don't know.
Well,
other than to be the hero at the end, I don't know.
Yeah, I was gonna say it just ended up being like her accepting motherhood. That was the whole.
That's the theme.
That was the whole theme. So it could have been like Big Brother stepping up for family.
Well, the Barbie movie tells me to reject motherhood.
Exactly.
What am I supposed to do?
Well, there's a reading.
You got this movie telling me I need to be a mom, and the other one telling me not to be. What is a little girl to do?
You know what that means. Just do what the fuck you want. Just do what the fuck you want.
Listen to movies.
In a world of Evil Deads and Barbies. I prefer the Evil Dead for.
Maybe don't make your life decisions based off fictional movies.
Come on.
There's a reading of this movie that just says like, no, reject your family entirely. There's a way of looking at this where it's like, now you're better off. Shove them away.
None of this would have happened if she didn't have family to go visit and all this,
Yeah, that's true.
What did we think about the discovery of the book? The book gets discovered. It's very unique. It's for the first time. If we exclude the Evil Dead, Ash vs. Evil Dead franchise, I think most times when you review the movies, you have to exclude that universe,
right?
Because it takes things such a different direction.
Yeah.
But if you're looking at it as the film, our 5 films we have, our 5 canon films. This is unique in the sense that it takes us out of the woods. It puts us in an urban setting. And I was like, how are we going to get the book? Like I from the trailer, I was like figuring out maybe somehow like what we see at the beginning is truly the beginning. And somehow the book gets brought to this house. Like that's what I was thinking. I was like, somehow that happens. I don't know.
Right. Yeah.
But it's not what we get. We get instead the book is just so happens to be under the apartment complex.
In like a bank vault or something, right?
In a bank vault, yeah.
Under the bank vault.
It made me think of like a Jumanji. How they just come across the board game. I don't know why. It just that was the vibes I got from it for some reason.
So I kind of wish. I know California has like earthquakes, but it seemed a little too like convenient that, I kind of wish it had been more along the lines of like we already knew the building was going to get torn down. Mm-hmm. So I kind of wish that they would have like been going into like a construction part of the building that they weren't supposed to be in and found whatever that way instead of, we just happened to fall.
Earthquake. Yep.
Yeah. Make the characters a little more active instead of just, but other than that, I liked that it was under there. I didn't like how they found it.
No, I didn't like how I thought it was, like you said, a little too convenient. But I guess, if we wanted to go by the book, if it wants to be found, it'll find a way to be found.
Fair.
It could have all been part of the book's planning from the beginning, cause an earthquake, do whatever it does, demon powers.
But then we're all just puppets in the book's world. We're going to find one if it wants to.
Supernatural forces.
The thing with that though is why did it wait? It was under there that whole time.
It was under there. As far as we know, 1928 was the dates on the book.
Well, it was waiting for an earthquake and it was waiting for this family. I don't know why you're overthinking. It wanted this family. It knew this family was coming.
Waiting for the opportunity to show that sister that she needs to be a mother.
Right.
A good mom.
It was just trying to find a way to help this woman out to accept motherhood.
That's all it is. That book is just doing good deeds. It's trying to teach good life lessons.
Yeah, the book's the hero in this movie. Huh.
It really is.
Surprise.
Yeah.
Well, I'm glad I could awaken you.
Yeah, now Beth can do her womanly duty, give up her hopes, her dreams, all her aspects, and just have a baby.
Just have a baby and make sandwiches. I don't
have a baby. Come on.
What else do you want?
It took killing your whole family to get this to your head. Come on.
Shouldn't be that hard to just understand your place in society.
Exactly. You have a place for a reason. Just accept it, and bad things won't happen.
Well, I'm glad we're canceled now. We can give up after this.
Right. Yeah, that's it. That's all we can. Yeah.
Yep.
It's all right. I'm tired.
Fine.
Anyway.
I'm tired.
Yeah, just cancel me, please.
Cancel me. I'll take a nap.
Give me a reason. Yeah, I didn't like that. The convenience, but it's all been convenience. You just happen to go to a cabin where there's supposed to be a book, and you just happen to go in the basement. I mean,
there's had to be a chainsaw in the movie. Just like
there wouldn't be there wouldn't be movies if it wasn't for convenience.
Up to the point, yeah, you're right.
It's like, why did this happen? Because it needed to. That's why.
Yeah, because the plot calls for it.
Yeah.
This is a movie about a book.
There's very few movies that do that really well. That just like it just had to be. That's why there's not very many movies that make it flow like it. It just happened.
They have more active protagonists. It's hard to get an active protagonist in a horror movie. I'll give them that.
Okay.
Like, to incite things. Usually it's the monster inciting things. So your characters are a little more passive, typically. So that's a little tough with horror movies, but
Ash is kind of, I guess, maybe proactive, what do you call it? Active protagonist?
Yeah.
I mean, Evil Dead 2, he just kind of just finds a recorder and plays it for no reason. Like, I guess, like, I don't know. Maybe that's not what you're talking about.
He didn't have to play it, so he's being a little active.
He's just kind of like, hey, we're in this cabin. Here's a tape recorder. Maybe it's some cool music. I don't know.
You know what? That's true. He was proactive there. Yep.
Yeah. None of it would have happened if he didn't do shit.
So the kills, pretty brutal in this movie. It didn't let me down in that aspect of things. I think the brutality was there. I liked the kills. Evil Dead.
I even like the wackiness of it. Really, the wacky type of thing.
You gotta have you gotta have a little wackiness. I mean, Evil Dead 2013 is pretty void of wackiness, but it worked for that movie. I think the hint of wackiness worked for this movie.
Yeah.
It wasn't going like full bore like Army of Darkness, slapstick stuff.
Right, but it was almost. It was
getting there. Like the hallway sequence was, I thought, pretty wacky. That could have been Three Stooge comedy sound effects.
Even like when she drops in on whatever her name is while she's listening to like the record and everything. Yeah. And she throws her fingernail down onto the record and opens her mouth so you can hear the record playing through her. I'm like, what the fuck?
That was definitely classic Evil Dead stuff.
It was a little bit cartoony. They did a good job of like towing that line, but keeping it horror on the side of horror instead of humor. So that was interesting.
Yeah, I think the brutalness makes up for the wackiness because even Evil Dead, that just the intent, like, fuck, there's some gross stuff in Evil Dead 2 and everything, and the Army of Darkness.
Oh, yeah.
Army of Darkness was almost NC-17 because, exploding skeletons.
Yep, those four exploding skeletons and that fucking rating system of ours.
That you love so much.
We all love the rating system.
Corruption.
No collusion. Here's the big thing. This is the thing that stood out most about this movie. The ending. The Marauder, they call it. They call it the Marauder. That is what the name of it is. So at the end, we find out Beth is our hero. The little girl is still alive, Cassie.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, Danny, Bridget, and Ellie have all succumbed to the evils of the book.
Yeah.
And they bond together into a giant spider monster thing.
Yeah, I don't know what the fuck.
I don't know what the fuck either.
Dug into her and
is there any other creature like that in the Evil Dead franchise? Really?
Probably
even
somewhere in
Ash versus Evil Dead.
It was very Ash versus Evil Dead. That's the only thing I can. It's very Ash versus Evil Dead influence because there's things kind of like that in Ash versus Evil Dead, but they're not anywhere in the main Evil Dead canon. So it's called the Marauder is what it's called, which basically what it did was it took these three, formidable demons and made it into one giant, slow, awkward moving demon.
Right. They were definitely better separate
They were
together.
definitely better separate. I mean, it was just, it turned into this thing where it was just like, it was shot. Like you could tell they had a hell of a time shooting it.
Oh yeah, you could
tell they had a hell of a time shooting it.
Picked up on that because they couldn't get a clear shot of that thing.
They couldn't. I couldn't tell what the fuck I was looking at anytime they showed it. I was just like, it was just this amalgamation of limbs.
Yeah, like there were a couple of times I noticed when it was crawling, you could kind of see like the floppy practical feet and hands just flopping along the floor, in a quick shot because it
was really weird. I was not expecting that as the ending because it was just I've never seen it like that in like mainline canon Evil Dead movies. I mean, I don't even think there's anything like that in Ash vs. Evil Dead, but it felt very Ash like something you would see in an episode of a television show, Ash vs. Evil Dead, not the climax of a major motion picture.
Right. Yeah.
Eric, can you just find the Christ allegory in that for me? Make it make sense.
The Christ allegory. Yeah, they all joined with the mother.
Yeah, the Trinity.
Yeah, there was the Trinity.
One. They're all of the same body.
Yeah, they're of the same body.
Yeah,
and they wanted, and they rejected Christ. Yeah. So there you go. That's
why
they made this monster.
That's why they made it.
There's
what's it called? The Marauder again?
The Marauder is what they call it. Okay. The Marauder. There's something to be said with it being 3 people. I mean, that's what 3 is always a common thing.
Yep.
The Trinity.
Yeah, but I think it was interesting that it was all the family members instead of, so it's like, what are we trying to say about family here?
Yeah, I mean, there is that. Like, there is that. Like, maybe it's like, oh, we're. I think she even have like a line like, "You're together at last," something like that at the end when she.
Yeah, something fucking like from the Marauder itself. Yeah, they say some weird shit.
So
I don't know. There is that. They all come together at the end. Family.
Yeah. Maybe that's the demons mocking that concept and trying to, turn it on its head and be corrupt with that, perhaps. But
not a fan.
Oh no, that was kind of a
clumsy. No, it would definitely just been something in my mind, been something better if like the kids were holding down because it was their aunt, right?
Yes,
holding down the aunt while the mom will start to try to do something. That'd make it harder for the little girl too to like try to fight back against these things. Like that's still her family in a way that you would see them. So they could have definitely dealt with some conflict for the little girl, helping her aunt, saving her from her family holding her down.
Right. Yeah.
Instead of just this whatever Marauder thing.
Yeah, I was not a fan of this thing. I'm sure it's going to be an unpopular opinion, but I did not think it was cool. I wasn't like, oh shit, that's bad. I'm just kind of like, what the fuck is this? I like the ending of Evil Dead 2013 where it's like the just like the human that demon that comes up where it's just like weirdly like proportioned man kind of thing. I like that.
Yeah,
I wasn't a fan of the Marauder.
Like oil.
Yeah, he had like hair that was all over him. Yeah, so I thought that was cool. I did not think the Marauder was cool. I thought it was kind of dumb. It was silly.
Yeah.
They kill it by putting in the wood chipper, which is cool. I mean, a big blood bath, big blood explosion in your big bloody movie. I like the part where Ellie's head survives for a second and it tells Beth she's gonna be a failure as a mother, and she punts it into the wood chipper. That was fun. That was a fun way to end it.
It was.
I just did not like the Marauder. If they could have just done something other than the fucking Marauder, I just did not like that thing. It was just from the second you see it, like in the garage, it's like they do not. This thing does not look good.
No,
they know it doesn't look good.
Yeah, they were shooting it like they knew it didn't look good. They couldn't make that.
I'll tell you, they don't show it anywhere. Like they don't even tease it in any of the trailer promotional stuff. They don't tease like there's a big monster in this or like Evil Dead will show you something. Yeah, you'll see something in Evil Dead Rise you've never seen. They never did. They tease it because I think they knew it looks bad.
I'll tell you what might have made it work is if we had more of a reason for it. Like we have dismembered these people in an attempt to kill these Deadites.
Maybe throughout the movie you're seeing like things kind of
legs crawling towards each other, stuff like that. Like it's just like, we'll reassemble as we go. And it's a slow thing. And you're like, what are we doing? And then there it is, Maybe then it would have worked because it was just kind of like, why did the Deadites decide to do this? They were all just laughing at them as they went into the elevator. And then they're like, now we're a big spider.
Yeah, now we're a giant spider thing. Yeah. Really weird. I was like, I did not get that. I was like, I could have seen that being an Ash vs. Evil Dead, which is a television series, a 20-minute television series. I could have seen it being something he deals with in the third act of that TV show, of an episode of that TV show. Monster of the Week thing, not the end of my fucking multi-million-dollar Evil Dead movie.
Yeah. So I'm glad you guys agree with that because I saw that. And
I found the ending also a little monotonous too. The garage thing, the whole Cassie getting stuck in the elevator, or getting not making under the door, then her having to go in. I was like, God, it just like bored me. I was like, you could have ended it sooner. We didn't need that. But I guess it was like maybe like the whole thing of like Beth like realizing like she has to step up to save this. Cassie's actually in peril. She has to make the decision to go back.
I would have left her.
Well, I think that might have been like the idea behind it. She has a way out. She's free.
Yeah,
Cassie's stuck. She has to make the decision of like, I've got to go back in. I've got.
I would accept it. It's like I probably wouldn't get in there in time to save you, and I would die too.
Yeah,
so
I could. I just, it would have been, better one of us than both of us.
Right. That makes no sense for us both to die. I mean,
you're still young. You're still young. You don't
you don't know what you're missing in life. I know what I'll be missing.
Exactly. I can come back from this. You can't. You're young. You're fucked. Like this is going on for the rest of your life.
Your life in a psych ward.
You are not going to develop correctly after this.
No.
This is the better way to go.
I can work through this trauma. You cannot.
Your brain cannot comprehend what you just went through. All right.
With any luck, the trauma would be enough that she'd forget about it, I guess.
Well, you guys ready to jump on over and let's talk about the quality of Evil Dead Rise?
I guess.
You feel like we should go there?
We might as well.
Let's talk about what we thought of this movie. Let's go ahead and let's talk about the quality of Evil Dead Rise.
Good. Bad. I'm the guy with the gun.
Evil Dead Rise, we talked about it. We talked about the, what we thought of it. We talked about the production. We talked about the movie itself. This is the point where we talk about what we thought of it.
Yeah.
Highly anticipated movie. I think all of us had probably high hopes after 2013. I think that may be the problem.
I mean, maybe the problem. And also the trailer was really good too, I think.
Trailer was fantastic.
Yeah. It was boss. Yeah.
This movie, I'll forever be its debt because without it, there probably wouldn't have been a Bruce Fest 2. I probably would have been on stage with Bruce Campbell. So I'm indebted to it for that. As far as my thoughts on this movie, I'm going to go ahead and say a very unpopular opinion. My least favorite Evil Dead movie.
Yep.
Even over number one?
Even over number one.
Wow.
Number one had Bruce Campbell in it. So it has that going for it. This has Bruce Campbell's voice for a few seconds. And also has one of the weirdest things to come out of the Evil Dead franchise. And I know I excluded Ash vs. Evil Dead in an earlier conversation. I'm going to include it in this one. Even including the Ash vs. Evil Dead franchise. The Marauder is maybe my least favorite thing to come from the Evil Dead movies. The Evil Dead franchise.
Might just be the least favorite thing in general.
Did not like it. I mean, it was just not good. It comes out of nowhere.
Yeah.
There's no lead up to it. Like Eric said, there's no lead up to it. They clearly knew it wasn't great because they did not
shoot it.
They did not shoot it.
Yeah.
You can tell they didn't know how to shoot it. My least favorite Evil Dead movie. But much like Sex and Pizza, still Evil Dead. So
Sex with Pizza?
Yeah, Sex with Pizza.
I mean, it is a holiday.
Yeah, it is a holiday. It's All Hallows Eve.
What?
Yeah.
How is that? What?
Yeah.
What do you guys do with your holidays?
Hey, yeah. Hey, it's a Monday. What can you say?
What can I say?
But much like Sex and Pizza, it's still Evil Dead. But I'd have to say it's my least favorite Evil Dead movie. It's not my least favorite horror movie of all time. I think it was a lot better than what it could have been because they did some stuff in this movie where I was like, they could have taken this to a really shitty place they wanted to. They could have leaned into a lot of things. Thankfully, they only teased. So I'm glad on that.
Yeah.
I was worried about this maybe getting agendified. I think there was maybe some stuff teased, but they didn't lean into it. It didn't become part of the narrative. I'm glad that didn't happen.
Agendified. That's a good word. Yeah.
But not as bad as it could have been, but not nearly as good as it should have been. And it takes the bottom slot on my Evil Dead totem there, I guess, if you want to rank it. My Evil Dead tier list, it rests the bottom because it doesn't come close to Evil Dead 2013. Doesn't have, I don't think it's going to hold up as well as Evil Dead 1981 because obviously that movie, although it may not be certified groovy, it's still a classic. I don't think this movie is going to be as highly regarded as the other 4 entries in the film series.
Yeah.
So the question is, Ty, is it groovy or not groovy?
Well, we asked that after the work. We let everyone have the rounds, then we go to it. Don't try to lead. Don't try to lead my show. We're near 100 episodes. I know what I'm doing here on this show.
Barely.
Yeah, we're getting there.
A bit.
What do you think, Mike? I'm gonna ask you. I'm gonna let Eric end things off with his thoughts. Well, let's see what I want to know what you think because you're kind of an impartial viewer,
right? Because this isn't normally my cup of tea that I go after in general as far as films go. Because I went and watched a horror film recently, which I really approved of, but if I could just get like a supercut of just all the violence in this film, I would love it. Just seeing all the eating the glass, pull the whole hallway killing scene. I mean, even stuff with the marauder and stuff, because she takes that chainsaw and just shoves it down to the top of her head, and then if I just get all the violence cut together, that'd be fine. Because there's really not much. I don't care about the theme of motherhood, whatever.
Yeah,
right.
The storyline they're pushing, I don't think we get enough development of anything to really care. Like we get enough to know that the Deadites are like inside her head and everything like that. But no, if I could just get a nice supercut of the violence, I would be down to clown with this film.
Yeah.
What about you, Eric?
Okay. Well, much like you guys, it did not rise to the top of my
Damn, that was a good one.
So let's circle back, Tyler.
That was a good one. That was a good one. No, that was a good one. That was right there. That was so just obvious thing to say.
I got the idea from hearing you talk. So
he's seen you and I reach for it, and neither one of us grabbed it. He's like, I'll grab it.
I'll take it. Yeah, I'll take it.
Could call this Evil Dead Rise, more like Evil Dead Sank.
Yep, there it is.
All right.
Yeah, you did it. Yeah, it serves well as a horror movie. Kind of like, I second what Michael says too. Like the body horror was great.
Yes.
I'll even go so far as to say, like, the sound design was fucking phenomenal. Mm-hmm. And their shots are great. Their cinematographer did an amazing.
On a technical level, amazing. Yeah. It holds up to everything you would expect from Evil Dead. There's nothing like cheap about it, except for maybe that thing at the end. But
right.
On a technical level, it's great. Yeah.
So they set the mood really well. You'll notice in our review, we did not talk too much about plot because, frankly, there wasn't too much plot.
No.
So the writing I wasn't too thrilled with. Okay, fine. It works. I could be a little forgiving with horror movies as far as writing goes. But yeah, as an Evil Dead movie, just, hi, Shy. Hi, Shy. Ty showed up. But as an Evil Dead movie...
She's blind. She don't know what she's doing.
It's okay, baby. As an Evil Dead movie, it just doesn't quite do it. I might even be with Ty. I can't think of a worse Evil Dead movie than this one. Not that it was like bad.
No, it just wasn't. It was, if you're taking it and comparing, I mean, it doesn't, like I said, it's not. I was kind of concerned when I was like reading like some of the stuff about who our characters were and things. Like, is this going to be like is it going to have an agenda behind it or whatever? And maybe it does. Maybe it does. I didn't feel like I was having anything shoved in my throat.
No.
I didn't feel like. I think there was a character that maybe that was just her character, and that's fine. There's people like that. I mean, that's
right.
There's people that are that way. I mean, that.
Yeah, I'll back that up because that's like one of those things. It's just like it just so happens to be this person's like that. It's like because people are like that in the world, so it's fine.
Especially now, especially today. Yeah, I mean, there's like that's how people are. There's people that want to be that way. They
didn't make it like it was the driving force of the film for some reason. It's just like no, this is another person in this universe. That's all.
It was a character trait, not a plot driver,
right?
So,
it wasn't like the demon was the father, and
right.
I mean that's what they could have done. They could have done that too. They could have been like dad's coming to drop off something, and he gets turned into a demon, and the whole thing is like
oh yeah,
we got to stand. Us strong females need to stand up against this.
Right.
Man,
patriarchal evil.
There was nothing like that in there, which I was glad. I was kind of concerned. I was like, maybe I was hoping not, because I know Bruce is very against like that whole like agenda stuff being shoved in your face. I was like, so, and Sam Raimi's never been like that. I mean, he's never included stuff like that in his movies. So I was like, I held up for that, and I don't think it was. I don't think it.
Yeah, they just let the characters be the characters.
I didn't feel like I was being objectified or having anything shoved in my throat or being made to feel like I should feel a certain way about something.
Right.
I don't think so anyways, but
no. I'm sure there's someone out there on the far side of something like telling us how
people can dig something like that out of anything. You can
and maybe it was in there and it just didn't come across to us, and that just means that they did it subtly, which is, god damn it, that's all I can really ask.
That's all you can ask for nowadays. Yeah.
Subtlety in your story.
There was no character like in there like telling us like this demon it just wants to eliminate females so that men can rule the world, so that so that evil can finally
you get it.
The only thing that can stop this demon is is if females join together and,
Right. Yeah.
there's nothing like that.
The problem we have is we have just too many film school students that have graduated and moved on to Hollywood, and every film has to have a meaning now. It just has to have a meaning.
Yeah, I mean, this did.
The audience gets it.
Yeah, this did have, I guess,
it had a theme. It didn't have a meaning.
It had a theme. Yeah, it had the theme of motherhood, which it wasn't anything that surprised you, because that was kind of the whole thing of the marketing was like the whole. Because
we also had like that theme in Aliens, right? Like Aliens was motherhood.
Aliens
like,
about motherhood. Yeah, sex and motherhood and procreation. Yeah. So I mean, it was there, but I didn't feel like I had anything shoved in my throat, and I was concerned about that. I didn't want to voice my concerns. I didn't want like anyone to be like deterred from seeing the movie. But I was like, I was kind of worried. I was relieved that it wasn't. So
right, I think by the time that Sam Raimi and Bruce Campbell allow that to go into one of their franchises or whatever, I think it's probably something serious going on that they're really trying to speak out about.
Right.
I think they're the types like, okay, this really does need brought to the world in this fashion sort of thing.
Yeah.
But I don't think they felt the need to do that.
All right. But yeah, it wasn't nearly as bad as I thought it could have been if they would have wanted to.
Yeah, if they wanted to go that route.
I wouldn't want to see this cast of crews be as slapsticky as Bruce was. And
you can't. You can't do that. You can't try. I mean,
I think the mom character her actress had the chops to do it. She could have wacky for sure, but I'm glad they didn't go that route. Yeah.
So I think what we'll do, I guess Bruce did produce this, so I think what we'll do is we'll give it a groovy or not groovy.
Okay.
But we'll base it on our thoughts on the film. So you either think it's a groovy movie, you think it's not a groovy movie. We'll make it just simple as that.
Okay.
So there's no middle ground. It's either yay or nay. I feel like we'd have probably like mid-level views on this. So what does it steer further into, the not groovy or the groovy side? I'll go ahead and kick things off here.
Okay.
I will say this movie, for all it has for it, I feel like we're on the. I feel like this is I feel like there's tension here.
I know.
I feel like this is like the first time we've done one of these where it's like, where are we at?
Like it wasn't just clear. I guess I don't know.
I feel a little tense, but the movie, gore, phenomenal. Technical stuff, phenomenal. Acting for the most part, great. I thought our actress that played Ellie, Beth, the actor who played Danny, I thought they were standouts. I think the actor that played Danny, I'm going to go and say I think they have a really bright future ahead of them. I think they are going to be in some stuff. I think we're going to see more of them. Yeah, I really do. I think that they have a really bright future ahead of them. Our actress that played Bridget, I think she needs to kind of, find herself a little bit, find her style.
Yeah.
I wasn't feeling her in this movie. Bridget is probably my least favorite character of all of them.
Yeah.
I enjoyed that we got I'm going to say canon cameo from Ash Williams. That's pretty fucking cool. That's pretty fucking cool. But that fucking Marauder killed it for me. I'm going to give this movie a not groovy.
Whoa.
Just because of the Marauder?
Just the Marauder. I thought the book thing was a little let me down a little bit. To find the book. The design of the book, we didn't talk about that. I thought was I'm gonna say that the book design in this movie sits with the movie as my least favorite design of the book.
Okay. Yeah, that's fair.
I thought that it had such cool ideas, but it just something was missing. It felt kind of meh to me on a plot level, which Evil Dead isn't like known for its plot. No one's like, man, it's such rich writing, and the subtle layers of the characters really shine through in the later acts of the film. It's just like, okay, this guy, he loses everything and puts a chainsaw in his hand and cuts up some demons. He got that, but I'm not saying like, oh, this was this didn't live up to the rich history of storytelling in the Evil Dead franchise. Although Evil Dead 2013, you can argue is a real film. Like it's a film.
Yeah.
But now I'm gonna give it a not groovy because something about it was missing. The ending kind of took me out. I think it was just the ending felt really disjointed. It just didn't do it for me. The chainsaw moment was cool, where the girl gets a chainsaw, or Beth gets a chainsaw. I always love when anyone Evil Dead movie picks up a chainsaw. It tickles my balls a little bit anytime I see a chainsaw in an Evil Dead movie. whether they used it or not, it's just like, oh shit, like maybe Ash will come in and pick that up out of nowhere, Yeah, that might save this movie. Last 5 minutes, Bruce Campbell kicks down the door with a fucking chainsaw in his hand. I'll be singing a different tune. Chop that fucking Marauder in half, just and that's it. They're in the fucking garage, and all of a sudden, like the little spinning vortex opens up, and ash spills out. Been like, all right, this is maybe the best movie of the last year, of the last decade, possibly. No, but just not groovy. It didn't do it for me. I love, like Mike said, all the violence in it. It's fantastic. You can't knock technical side of Evil Dead, because that's you could not have an Evil Dead movie and not embrace like practical gore and all that stuff, because that's kind of what the movie is known for. That's what the franchise is known for. Yeah. So they did justice to the movie, the franchise, with that. The nods were great. The Easter eggs were fantastic. Just did not do it for me. I did not feel satisfied in the movie. And probably a lot of it lies on the however many backs of the Marauder.
However many. That was good.
Who's up next?
So I'll go next.
All right.
So again, I love all the gore. It makes me each thing they do makes me cringe each time. Just again, popping the eye out, chewing on the glass, swallowing it, the cheese grater, it makes me cringe. And movies that make me cringe of pain, I'm just like, I like it. And there's not, again, that we didn't talk about the plot, because the plot's very much like, okay, sister's in town, she's wanting something, probably she's a screw up. Oh no, she's pregnant. She's trying to figure out how to be a mom, whatever. Yeah. That's very much the plot. And then wackiness ensues.
So wacky.
Yeah, so wacky. And that's the other thing I like, the balance they did between the weird, quirky stuff and keeping the horror element going with it. Because I look past a lot of things. Because like even in the elevator, there's no way all that blood holds up in the elevator.
Oh, well, yeah.
Right. Yeah. Right.
Yeah, that really took me out of this demon possession movie. Was all that blood? The seals on a standard operating elevator inside of a hotel would not support that much liquid. You could ask any elevator technician; they'll tell you point blank, they ain't gonna happen.
Ruins the movie.
Took me right out. Yeah.
So the plot doesn't ruin it for me, because the plot's whatever. They had a plot for plot's sake. Yeah. Just so the Deadites had shit to hang on to and mind warp some people, get them all fucked. The Marauder, it could have been a better big bad thing to fight, I guess. But even the clunkiness of the ending, I'm fine with, because where she did get out and then she came back, is like, it just gave me more opportunity for more gore and blood and fighting. I was like, it just gave me more opportunity for what I was liking about the film. Yeah. So to go ahead and put Eric on the chopping block here for a tiebreaker, I'm going to give it a groovy.
Oh,
wow! That puts you on the block, because you're deciding
that's why I went or not groovy.
You motherfucker!
Yikes!
I wish they were mid-round. Okay. Jesus.
So, Eric, no pressure, but what do you think?
Eric's not here right now. Eric's with the maggots.
Eric's the maggots now, not voting.
Okay, so all right, man, I land right as an Evil Dead movie in grooviness level. I really do land in the middle with this. It's so tough because this is a great horror movie. Let me just say that this movie as a horror movie really works. Mm-hmm. And I don't have a high opinion of a lot of horror movies being made today. So
yes, that's one thing I will say. If I'm saying positive, if I'm giving this not groovy, I'm still saying this is easily one of the best horror movies that's been released in theaters in a long time, because it's not agendified. It's not so much comedy that it takes you out of the horror aspect. So there we go. Sorry to interrupt. I just want to.
No, that's all right. Because you're right. It definitely works in that regard, and it's a really good horror movie. My God, as far as groovy goes, son of a fucking bitch. Listen, okay, it's so close. It's so close because there's enough in there. It's almost groovy. Which means it's not groovy. That's I'll just say it. It's not groovy. Okay. It's almost there with all the nods and the that borderline.
There's definitely a lot of fanfare for sure.
There. Yeah. Oh, yeah, absolutely. Great. The fact that all that stuff it's tough. But I gotta say it's not It doesn't have, because to me, Groovy has this kind of pizzazz to it that's not in this movie.
Machismo.
Yeah, it doesn't have that machismo to it. And our Ash stand-in or replacement or whatever she is was a great actress, great arc. She didn't have the Groovy to her, and the movie didn't quite either. So I'll there, not Groovy. Ouch, that hurt to say though, because I was very torn on that. But yeah,
because even if you're looking at 2013, I mean, Mia, who becomes our heroine and Evil Dead 2013, like hell of an arc. She goes from drug addict to being possessed to beating a possession, beating drug addiction, then beating a fucking demon. Like, she has a hell of an arc. Loses everything in the process. Loses her all of her friends, her brother, her dog, her Jeep gets flipped on top of her. So loses that.
Yeah, that's right.
Or her brother's Jeep one too. I don't know. But a lot of shit happens to her, and it's like a really satisfying end when she fucking loses her arm. She fucking rips her fucking own arm off. Like that. Like Mia in the 2013 movie is a fucking tooth and nail fighter. Like she wants to live. Mia, I don't know, just felt like she was kind of there for a lot of the movie. She's
right. Yeah,
serviceable. I guess is like I said, that's the best word I can use. Serviceable.
It worked. It was
Danny needed to be the hero.
Yeah.
If you could make Danny the hero and cut out the Marauder, I would have given this some Groovy. No bones about it.
Yeah,
but just something about it. I left the theater and I watched it again on HBO Max. I left just unsatisfied, but it is a well-made movie. It's a well-made horror movie. I just don't think it's going to hold up as well as the other movies in the franchise.
Yeah, no, not as an Evil Dead movie. It doesn't.
So
I'll buy it on Blu-ray just to complete. Because it is Evil Dead. I'll support it. It's Evil Dead. Right. Bruce Campbell, Sam Raimi. I see their fingerprints. I see their influence on it. I think they're a big part of why the things that work in this movie work. But
the more money you give it, the more you could probably get in the future.
Right. Yeah.
We got that. There's a Ash vs. Evil Dead animated series coming up, which would be cool to see. But
so not Groovy, huh?
Not Groovy.
It's not certified not Groovy, but
not certified not Groovy, but it's not Groovy. There you guys have it. Long awaited review for this. I think it was kind of nice to watch. I watched it twice now, theater and home viewing, to see if I had any different opinions, and I left the same way.
Nice.
Just something about it didn't hit for me, but not. I mean, see the movie. It's not unwatchable. It's not a waste of an hour and a half. You're not like, oh Jesus Christ. Just gets a little sloppy at the end.
Yeah.
I mean, like you said, we have to kick it one way or the other. It's definitely middle of the road as far as like if we go rate it 1 to 5.
I was thinking, I was like, it's going to get like 3s across the board if I was do 5. It would have been like
I had a 3 in the chamber ready to go.
I did too. I was thinking, I was even myself. I was like, I'm gonna give it a 3 or maybe a 2.5, maybe at the least. But I was like, it's a 3. I was giving it a 3, and like I can't. Yeah, I don't want to be
impressed.
In the spirit of Cult of Campbell, it had to be.
Yeah, you gotta make the tough decisions on this show. You don't get any leanway. It's one way or the other.
Yep.
No fence riding over here. But there you guys have it. Evil Dead Rise, our long-awaited review, might be a little controversial for the Cult of Campbell boys. This joins Evil Dead 1981 as not Groovy.
Oh my God!
Which Eric tried to save that one.
If I had to rank my movies, I had to rank my Evil Deads. I'm ranking movies. I'm gonna say number 1. Number 1 will always be Evil Dead 2 for me.
Nice.
Number 2, Evil Dead 2013. Number 3, Army of Darkness. And Army of Darkness and Evil Dead 2013 are like hairs within each other.
They can switch on any day you're talking about.
They whatever way I'm feeling. If I want to watch a goofy adventure movie, Evil Dead, Army of Darkness 2 is taking Army of Darkness is taking the number 2 slot. Evil Dead 1, 1981, and then sitting at number 5. It's going to be Evil Dead Rise every day.
There we go.
Every day. That's from Cult of Campbell's Tie. That's my official ranking of the Evil Dead films.
The number 1 Bruce Campbell podcast in the world.
Number 1 Bruce Campbell podcast in the world.
of Bruce Campbell podcast.
Yep. Bruce Campbell co-star of Bruce Fest. But yeah, we did it. We reviewed it. Not groovy. There you have it. Let us know what you thought of Evil Dead Rise in the comments below or on Instagram, Instagram at CultTalkNet. Tomorrow is Halloween. Woo! And we are, as with every Halloween, we're dropping a very special Halloween episode. We are doing Addams Family, the 1993 movie, I believe. 93, 94. I can't remember which year.
Man, Halloween's on a Tuesday.
It is on a Tuesday. Yeah. Oh. It seems like it's been, I don't know. Well, 3 years it'll be on a Friday. That's going to be pretty cool.
Oh, that would be cool. Okay, 3 years.
Yeah, I just got to hold out 3 years. Hold out.
Yeah.
Dig in.
2020 was supposed to be the good year for all the dates. You had
what was
Cinco de Mayo was on a Tuesday, and
Halloween was on a Friday. I'm pretty sure Halloween was on a Saturday. Halloween was on a Saturday.
Yeah, 2020 was looking up for us all the holidays for the days, and just something came along and fucked it.
Womp womp. But check out also tomorrow my podcast, Cult Talk Conspiracy. We'll be dropping the Jersey Devil episode me and Bailey worked on. It's gonna be a fun one. It'll be a different structure than what our usual Cult Talk conspiracies are. So check that out. But yeah, thank you guys for joining us for not only Cult of Campbell, but Cultober. What a month this has been.
Yeah.
The biggest Cultober we've ever done. We all worked really hard on it. It was all hands on deck. We worked on this for literal months. We worked on this fucking event. I don't know of another. I don't mean to gloat or jerk myself off or all of us off. I don't think there's another podcast network that does the shit we have done this year for this month. The amount of content and work we put in. If you know of another podcast network that puts out this much content for 1 month, just send them my way.
Seriously.
I do not know.
Still need pointers. Good God, this was a lot.
Yeah, and this it was. There's 7 of us. There's 7 of us. Main cast. Cult Talk Net. We got our friends. We got our crew that helps. A couple members of a member of our crew. But for the most part, it's a lot of stuff on Mike. Mike does a lot of the shit.
I'm just a sound guy. That's all I am. I'm just a
sound guy. Well, it's an audio medium, so shoulder feeling.
Eric does a lot of shit with the video side of things.
Coming out on time this month, I'm sure.
Coming out on time this month.
Totally,
of course. You'll notice that Cult of Lore was out on Thursday. The first and third Thursday on time this month. It's crazy.
Time. Yeah,
it's crazy.
Good job.
Good job. Future Eric, past Eric.
Past Eric, but future Eric. Oh God.
Yeah.
No.
Competent Eric. Competent Eric.
Competent Eric.
Yeah, confident Eric. Did a good job this month. Got to bring him out once a year to get things on time.
Yeah.
Can't overwork him. Can't overwork him.
Nope, can't do it. He's got to rest the rest of the year.
He's got to get ready. Like, I got to get these things out on Thursday. You got to give me time to recover.
11 months.
A lot of fucking social media shit that I deal with.
Ty, you definitely bear the brunt on that.
Bailey getting everything RX for Cult Talk Conspiracy. Couldn't do without her getting all that shit done. Ben gets everything structured for you guys over at Cult of Lore.
Yep, and he does a mountain of research. Time and
all of us, Urs pulling him out, getting him on all these episodes with us, and Jerry. Just the scheduling we did this for this month was insane. We were recording. I speaking for myself, like there was weeks I was recording 3 times a week, and that's a lot. It doesn't sound like a lot. You're talking about podcasting, you're like, just talking into a microphone. That's fucking that's time consuming. It really is. You're giving up full fucking evenings coming off of work and then recording for hour and a half, 2 hours. Yeah. And then you're like, well, I gotta get ready for bed now. I just spent my evening talking about fucking killer clowns from outer space.
I mean, that's what we're doing now. You and I got off work and here we are.
Yeah, I gotta get up tomorrow. I gotta listen. I gotta somehow find a way to watch fucking Aliens at 1.5 speed so I can record an episode on that in the evening.
Yep. Yeah.
That's my secret. That's my tip. If any other podcasters I watch everything on 1.5 speed.
That's what Essie had to do when
I watch it on 1.5 speed.
You have to speed watch. Yeah.
Certain things I refuse to. But if it's something I've seen, I'll watch it on 1.5 speed. But
And that makes sense. If you've already been through it at least once, and like Aliens, you've seen probably a million times.
Yeah, exactly.
So that makes sense.
I wasn't even on that episode. But
All right, get us out of here, Tyler.
But there you guys have it. Make sure you follow us at Cult Talk Net to keep up on all the shit we're dropping because October's over. We still got Thanksgiving. We got Christmas.
Ooh,
it don't stop. It don't stop.
Nope.
I wouldn't even think it's I don't sometimes like, what the fuck are we doing?
Again, we need to talk about a vacation month or two somewhere in the year.
I think August would be a good, just middle of the ground, like just take a month off.
Right?
That's my thing. You got September?
I guess you're right. It's not right.
We're hell May. Is it May? Take a May off. Kick back on May. Spring. We'll talk about it. I don't want you. I don't want you getting too comfortable, Mike. I don't want you getting lazy on me. Gotta keep you spry. Right. But hell, you only edit for me. I pay an editor for myself. So, what are you bitching about?
You're welcome. I found him.
Yeah, you're welcome.
It was helping me in the long run.
Yeah, it was.
That's true. It was.
Well, you're welcome for all your spreadsheets, people. God.
Oh, you are. Yeah, thank you. Thank you.
We didn't even bring that up.
Yeah, Mike does spreadsheets.
And organizing is our quarterly meetings. That's right. We do quarterly meetings that are like all budgeting and marketing and this and that. Budgeting with all the money that you guys are,
definitely giving us to us by now.
I guess. You're hitting that link down here in the Cult of Campbell, in the Cult of Campbell description, and dropping us. Was it $2.99, something like that? $3,
$3, as low as $3.
As low as $3, and thank you if you give us $3.
Or you can go to Cult Shop Net and
buy a mug. Buy a shirt. The mugs are pretty popular. People like mugs. Yeah,
people do like the mugs.
It is fall. Yeah, we sold. Sold 2 mugs. They're pretty popular. They're pretty popular. We sold 2. They're flying off the shelves. Get them while you can.
Help us.
Yeah, get them while you can, people.
Or you just coming up. Or go find our link in bio on Instagram, and you could just donate a one-off.
Yeah,
we appreciate the one-off.
Yeah, we appreciate it.
We're out here doing it for you. It's fine.
We are, and for just for the hell of it, we're doing it. We're doing it for the money. We're doing it for the money. All this.
All the money we've made so far. We've been doing this for 3 years.
Yeah, podcasting is basically just one big get rich scheme.
Absolutely.
That's all it is.
I mean, I'll say it.
I drive a Ferrari now, so
yeah.
Also,
I'm recording this from my my fucking house in the Caribbean right now. It's my fall house. I spend summers in Ohio, then I take the CTN jet down to the Caribbean in the colder months.
Yep.
And I just travel around in a Winnebago.
Mike has one of those souped up Steve-O RVs he drives around.
Right.
But his chauffeur's driving as he's editing right now. It's insane.
Right? Oh man, it's the life.
Right.
Hey, we pay him good money. What can we say?
That's right.
That's right.
Chicken nuggets.
You get what you pay for, as they say, and we pay handsome. But thank you guys for following us. Check out at Cult Talk Net across the board. Instagram, Twitter, or X. I guess now X it's called now. It's not Twitter, it's X. True story. I was on my phone. I didn't know that X became Twitter, and there was an app that seeing apps at X. And I was like, I was legit concerned. I didn't want to click on it. I was like, what is this? It's a black logo.
Was it hacked?
I was legitimately concerned. I was like, I didn't know what to do. I was like, you hold it and delete it. But I was like, what is it? I don't remember downloading X. I thought maybe some kind of like pirate thing. I'm pretty decent with like technology kind of that sort of thing. I'm not like a techguru, but I don't get nervous with that kind of stuff. I was like, this is weird. I was like, I don't know what this is. I didn't know where it was, but then I looked on I typed in app X on Google, and it was like, oh, that's Twitter now. But
good. Yeah, that's good. I bet that was scary.
It was a little bit, because I'm like, I'm pretty tech aware. I'm not saying I'm like tech. I'm not a tech guru, but I'm tech aware.
Yeah.
But
follow us on X.
Follow us on X and follow us on Threads if you don't want to support Elon Musk, that evil rich son of a bitch.
Oh yeah, terrible.
Hey, don't hate the rich. We're just
we're people like you.
We're just living our lives.
We're all the same. We're just a little higher up on the food chain than you guys.
The jeans we put one leg at a time into are just cost more than yours. That's all.
Yeah, that's all. Yeah, totally. Yeah.
Made out of materials you can't even imagine. There's But there you guys have it. This has been our review of Evil Dead Rise. Make sure you tune in tomorrow for Adam's Family. And I think that does it. This went a little long. We had a lot to say about this movie and just general bullshit as happens sometimes.
Right.
But thank you guys. This has been Cult of Campbell. Cult of Campbell is going back into a little bit of a hibernation, but we'll be back very soon in a few weeks. Actually, I'm pretty sure in a few weeks. I'm pretty sure we'll be back. I think Eric and I are going to be back for something here in a few weeks. So keep an ear out for that. But there you have it. I've been Ty.
I've been Eric.
And I've been Michael.
And until next time, stay groovy.
Stay groovy.
Hail to the king, baby.
That's it? That's the best you got?
Yeah.
Oh, that sucks.